Hi, I'm Alex Maxwell.
I'm Max Phillips.
I'm Nathan Little, and today we're going to be looking at some more of our past projects. So,
It's episode 2, baby!
episode 2. This time we're looking at Lost in Our World 1 and 2, and then our most recent project, which was actually nearly 2.5 years ago now.
God.
Yeah.
Isle.
Well, we have done stuff, but that's kind of the last one the three of us were able to...
Yes.
And also that they're our last sort of short films. Actually no, I take it back. Alex, you've done stuff. It's because we've had such a crazy, past year. I literally feel like we've made no short films and you've just done some business videos, but actually you've not. Yeah. You've made the road reel as well, which was good.
I did,
but me and Nathan,
I didn't win.
Just
we've done nothing.
Aside.
I didn't win. I did get given that hat I wore in the last episode.
Yeah, I saw.
One of the first 4,000 to apply.
Wow, it was a participation trophy.
The participation hat.
I'd also like to make the point that they also gave me a tote bag and a key ring.
Wow, it was worth it.
What is the craze with tote bags?
It's in a drawer. I immediately didn't use it.
What? I would never get any use out of them. They're too flimsy to hold a laptop. And
Shopping.
I mean, what's wrong with a backpack?
Do you go to the supermarket with a backpack?
Yeah.
You raise a good point. But,
do you not?
Yeah, I do actually.
Yeah.
But
I don't.
But no, if I'm with my dad or something, then we'll use shopping bags, bags for life.
The only people that I would not be suspicious of in a supermarket wearing a backpack is someone like clearly who arrived on a motorbike.
I wondered where you were going with that. Then, not gonna lie to you.
What? Why? No, like if you're on a motorbike, you're gonna get a few bits, pop it in a backpack. But if it's just a civilian, clearly not wearing
as if motorcyclists aren't civilians, they're just
they're another level of human being.
Yeah, but like just like a regular non-motorcyclist, I guess. Like clearly,
so everybody else on Earth gets classified into the category of non-motorcyclists.
Yes. If
you
they
have
a
fill
backpack,
it out on forms.
Yeah. If they have a backpack, I'm wary. I'm keeping two
Welcome to
aisles
episode
apart.
2.
Yeah. Welcome to the show. We're doing a podcast. Okay, so getting into the main body.
Tote bags aside.
Tote bags aside.
Let's watch some.
I can go for it. So, yeah, we last episode, as you guys know, we did Perplexity and we did Jacked, and we also sat through about 40 minutes of the writer's room and decided to cut it in the end, which was great.
We just ended up laughing and there was no content there.
Go watch it. Go watch it.
So, absolutely go watch it.
We can do it another time.
In the same nature, we're going to watch 2 more comedies, but hopefully not just laugh the whole time and say things this time.
You'll find out if it's not there.
We'll keep the pre-spiel. Spiel.
Yeah.
We'll
keep this bit, but cut the actual films. Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of the last episode, I suppose, it was kind of finding our filming feet, and it tended to go not very well. But I think in a weird way, it's when we stopped trying to take it quite so seriously that it landed a little bit better.
I think it was sort of
pressure.
I think it was sort of we understood who and where we were. Like we didn't think above. Certainly with Perplexity, I think we thought we were above our station. Really,
yeah.
I think part of us knew we were making a student film, but because in second year I'd made a film where I put a camera in a fridge and took something out of the fridge. That classic student shot.
Everyone's done that.
So in third year, when I didn't do that, I think in my head I was like,
we were definitely.
I am
this
an auteur.
It was going to get picked up by A24. That was our careers. Amazing. Done.
Which is exactly why all the text that we used was like Arial.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is,
Papyrus.
we actually made Lost in Our World 1 before we made Jacked.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we did it as part of... What was the...
Kino Cabaret.
Kino Cabaret, Liverpool, yeah.
Which was awesome. Because like we had 3 days and we didn't go in knowing that we were going to make a film. We kind of went in thinking, okay, well, what's going to happen? And on the first day, it was like, come up, pitch your ideas. And basically everyone there, I think there's maybe like 30 people there, if that.
Yeah.
And it was just like, come pitch an idea. Whoever's interested will come see you afterwards in like the little cafe area. And you'll have basically 2.5 days to write, film, edit, and deliver a short film.
Yeah, and then they were all shown at the end in like a little theater at the back of a cafe,
which was it was like this really cool, intimate space. And we spent the first day and a half working on other people's films.
Yeah,
like for the most part, being like participants, like actors or participating in a short documentary. And kind of on the evening of that second day, it was like, do you remember that? I think it was you who said it. You're like, do you remember that wizard idea we had like a while
I think we had pitched it on the first day. So like, just for context, this was me and Alex. I'm not sure why. Maybe I think it's just because we were living together and we were like, let's just go because we can just do it.
Yeah.
I can't remember why.
I don't think it was in uni time necessarily. I think it wasn't.
I can't remember exactly.
I reckon it wasn't because I don't remember you telling me about it. And like,
yeah,
I feel like if it was at uni time, I feel like you would have probably said, not maybe do you want to help, but also maybe can you do some work for me and go uncredited?
Yeah, or even just like, do you want to come? Like, see what it's about.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. And I feel like if it were at uni anyway, I would have probably been like, I kind of just want to get drunk with my friends. So I feel like either way, there was no way that I was going to be there at that point in time because I was doing stuff for uni, and that was filling the creative void in my head that I needed, and the rest of that hole in my brain was just like vodka.
Yeah, so
that's what you love to see.
Me and Alex went on the first day. I think because we had an idea of like some kind of. I think the original idea was to have someone dressed up and interact with the public as a wizard, and they would do like I don't know, like a Borat style, I guess, kind of thing, where like to have like the most ridiculous thing happen. But then we changed it because we pitched the idea of like a wizard mockumentary, and that was it. And then that
all we had.
Yeah, on the evening of like that second night, we were like, let's just write something.
And because really we only put any work into it on like the evening of the last day, or the second to last day, sorry, no one wanted to be involved.
Yeah.
A couple of people were happy to be like extras in a scene, but for the most, it ended up basically just being me and you, you behind the camera, me in front of it again, and I mean this is how it went. So let me just get that. Press play. There he is.
Again in your living room.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Third year living room.
I love. I mean, the microphone on the beard is such a funny touch. Apart from the fact, I mean, obviously the fact that it's the most obviously fake outfit is funny anyway. But the microphone, that's a great touch.
Yeah, I think the budget on this was something like £18. It was a rented outfit. It was a rented outfit.
That was rented,
including the beard.
We just got okay because we had such little money.
No, I'm not questioning the reasoning behind renting it. I'm questioning the quality of a rent. Like, you'd think that to me looks like something that you've bought on eBay for like a tenner.
The thing is, they didn't have like a wizard, like a full beard. They just had like a gnome. Because basically that beard,
like an Amish beard.
Yeah, it just went like under the chin, but we had to like pull it up and like tighten the strap so it actually went like under his nose. And still, people to this day are like, "Oh, I love that gnome film that you made." And like, he's clearly a wizard. He does magic, but maybe a gnome does magic too.
And I think part of it as well, the whole thing wasn't like
Lost in Our World
wizard
3?
outfit or no. Well, we've got gnome could work.
No.
We'd have to get pretty creative. But like that was also bits and pieces because they didn't have like a wizard costume. It was kind of a random ensemble from like different hangers throughout the shop, and that's what we had in the end. And I think what's funny about even just that,
we said we want to make a wizard.
So we made a wizard. But like even the audio there's like 4 different voices there. They're all me and Nathan.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us about yourself, Gary?
Yeah, of course. My name's Garibaldi, or Gary for sure.
Can you pause it there?
Yeah.
What's the Garibaldi joke all about? It's funny,
it's
but what's isn't a Garibaldi a sweet?
It's a biscuit, isn't it?
Biscuit. Yeah, it's a chocolate. It's one of the. No, it's not the chocolate one. Is it the one with raisins in?
I think it is. Yeah.
Those
ones with the crinkled edges.
Yeah.
So what's the tie-in with wizardry? Was it just a wizardy word?
It was just a name, I think.
I think we started with Gary, and then
I know. I was gonna say it's such an Alex thing to be like. I want it to be called Gary, but it's got to be short for something funny.
I don't even like those biscuits. I don't like raisins.
No, they're alright, but it's like a mix of textures. It's like a chewy and a crunchy biscuit.
It's like dry and wet.
Yeah.
Oh. One of my favorite bits here as well is that, like, my actual facial hair, there's no attempt to cover it up. It's like he's got a beard that's clearly over a mustache.
Yeah.
Which is
and your
great.
Curtains sticking out
and
the side.
My curtains sticking out the side. Yeah. That's played through.
I accidentally transported myself to your world about 2 months ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Where am I?
So, this amazing. I say no one wanted to get involved. Actually, this gentleman here was just great. This is Aftab.
More than keen.
Huh?
I think we spent most of the weekend with him.
Yeah. He's 40.
Really?
Yeah. The whole time we didn't know. He was with us.
The beard makes him look older.
He's looking good for his age. But yeah, it was because that stupid, like, I don't know, Crime Stoppers recreations. I think this was maybe his idea a little bit. He was like, it'd be funny if it was me because you're all white. Like that's essentially what his reasoning was.
I feel like it had to be his idea, right?
Yeah.
I can't imagine you going, so.
I've had a concept. No. This is his idea. And honestly, he was such a funny guy and he was such a good sport about it. Like we were just like, okay, you're right, that is funny, but
yes.
It's not from us.
It's not. We want to make sure it has to be known. This was your joke.
And I want you to know right now, in about 5-6 years' time, we're going to talk about this on a podcast, okay? So we're clear on it.
Well, I mean, Aftab and I are still friends on social media, so hi, Aftab.
It did take me a while to get used to things, I'll admit.
Could have cleaned the kitchen, couldn't you?
Nope.
No.
But now I've got my own place.
Was that in Ormskirk?
A job.
Yeah.
Outside
I've
Murray's?
even got my own form of transportation.
Right. I'm sorry. This was one of my favorite jokes that got missed completely by the
I think the
audience.
problem is that it wasn't a cutaway. I think if it was a cutaway of you running with a broom between your legs.
That would have been funnier.
Anytime I show people this, which is often, it's like one of the only few things that I'll be like, hey, watch this thing I made.
Yeah. It's
And
all
I'll sit and watch them watch it. Like, because you don't do that, but this is one of those few things that I'm happy to do it. I always make them pause it and go, right, so this is a joke. That's a joke.
Because it's always funny when you point out a joke.
I was going to say, the best comedies you have to pause people and tell them a joke's just happened.
But it is...
Yeah.
The problem with it is that it's too subtle, I think.
There's another one coming up that is my favorite one of the entire thing. But we'll get there. Let's go.
We're trying to lay low, sort of avoid the whole magic thing.
I love the
But
way you play this. I
because,
don't know
I've
why.
taken
It's
a
like
real
you
interest
come across like
in
you're
alchemy
absolutely
recently.
stoned out your
me
mind
show
the
you.
entire way through it.
Yeah.
Obviously, you weren't.
No, I was just,
But it's just
I
this
think I was
weird
just-
vibe that you're going for.
Sorry,
it's.
do you want one?
I can explain in that it's not scripted.
Mm.
We had a vague idea of what the gag was in the scene, and that was it. And it was like, roughly talk about this, and I was like, okay. So like, I'm clearly like taking the time to think, what the fuck am I saying next?
But I
whilst
think
trying
that's
not
why
to
it's
look
so
like
good
that.
as well, because it was like we knew what the punchline was going to be. It's just kind of like, how do we get to that point? Like, how on the day, how do we make it funny to get to the point that we know we're going to get to?
And we got there eventually. Like rewatching it, it's like, okay, the speech is slow, but that's just how it was.
But it makes it seem more real because it is supposed to be a mockumentary, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it does sort of seem like he's uncomfortable on camera.
Yeah. I think the good thing about this as well is, I suppose maybe not the good thing, but it's like everything is in your eyes, like the entire acting, everything.
And
like,
they are beautiful.
Oh, look at them baby blues.
but it's like they're
Yeah.
so emotive through the whole thing. You can like,
Yeah,
'cause
absolutely.
that was the thing we made. Like, we can't see your face apart from like the top half of your head, so like really exaggerate it.
Everything.
Which is like the opposite problem of my first on camera acting with you lot when we were doing D&D.
Yeah.
Can we cut to that? When we're editing that, can we just cut to
Listen, I thought I was doing all right, and I'm reasonably all right in front of camera. But that day I was not on it, and I think it was because I wasn't prepared that I was going to be on it.
Well, we didn't have a script for that either, really, did we?
No, we had an idea of what was happening, and I feel like some of the best ones that we've done have been like, fucking,
Yeah.
let's just randomly do this.
That was Lost in Our World 2 is exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
So good. Okay, let's go.
So yeah, I got
This is
myself
the
a
miss
job.
gag.
Just your sort
that
of
Is my favorite
standard
one.
9-to-5 gig. Kind of monotonous, but you know.
Because I think that's so good. That was my favorite one. Nobody laughed.
Is it just that he thinks he's supposed to stop?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
That's
you
all it
could have done with another take. I think
I
if it was
think
me, I would have done another
we
take.
were
of it.
we were so rushed for time because I think that was like the last day, and anything in Liverpool City, that was the last day, and we
That was
had to
hand-in
edit that day.
Well, you can see that you're losing the light in these shots.
Mm.
But it's I am gutted that it doesn't get like the reaction that I think it deserves. And that's not I don't mean to sound arrogant there, like it's I just
No,
But
yeah.
no, I remember us filming that, and we were like, "This is
so
an
good.
amazing joke. This is so funny." I think some
But
people laughed when we showed
I
it,
think
but like,
how often
Yeah.
does that happen though? Like especially when you're writing the jokes, that the ones that you think are the best often aren't the funniest
Yeah,
ones in the
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to.
Yeah.
Sort of emailing Diane from supplies.
do you enjoy it?
Not so much the job itself. It's kind of boring. But I mean, it comes with its perks. You know, sometimes Tina will bring in cakes. That's Tina from accounting.
Making it up.
Casual Fridays.
I
We just had to get
I
here.
think that bit works quite well. I don't know what the joke's gonna be. Like I know he's gonna be wearing clothes, but every time I watch this, I know it. I've seen it so many times. Every time I watch it, I feel like he's gonna be in like a t-shirt or something, and I forget that it's this stupid gag where you can still see the other hat underneath.
Yeah.
It's
Hat
just
on
like-
hat. Oh yes. That is another one of my favorite. I love this fucking film.
So, Carl, he's in my like cluster. Have you ever heard of this dating
in
app?
your bubble.
Finder? Anyway, he set me up this account, and
Fine.
This was So Finder, we were trying to like not get sued, but it was only
Yeah.
after the fact. I mean,
She's gone for Finder.
yeah. So the joke was like Tinder, but with an F, like find her, and it does definitely come across more as like we're trying not to say grinder,
Yeah.
which wouldn't be an issue if we hadn't written she for like the rest. If I hadn't for the rest of it said she, if I'd clocked onto that, it sounds more like grinder. We could have just said he, and that would have solved that problem.
I've actually got a date tonight. Oh, I cannot remember the last time I went on a date. I think it's been like 100, 120 years. 120
Same.
years. Yeah, sort of around about that. Anyway, I hope it goes well. Hope it goes well.
Fun fact: I didn't say that second. Hope it goes well there, but
No.
because you can't see my mouth, we had that benefit
Clever.
of not having to say it.
We had a lot of flexibility.
That might be the
With the
easiest
sound.
ADR ever.
Yeah. Like once you know and you watch it, you're like, okay, clearly his entire face is still. But if you don't know, then it's fine.
Yeah, because I think you carried on talking for a bit,
Mm.
and then we just
So,
brought it back
tonight's a
to
big night.
cut
I
the
think we
shot.
did,
Now that
yeah.
I'm here, I'm
Yeah.
actually very nervous. I've got butterflies in my stomachs.
Is that their bedroom from Perplexity, by chance?
No,
That's my bedroom.
that's Nathan's
Oh, wow,
room.
Different bear wall.
I know.
But you know what they say?
Look at that little
Confidence is
stash.
key.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, I should probably head in.
It's looking quite sweaty underneath that
Here.
bit.
Yeah.
Wish me luck.
Comfortable mustache right there.
Oh, I find it so funny that he's wearing the suit and the
Oh,
cape.
yeah. The suit jacket is on, but the cape's over the top of it. It's like the opposite of the hat gag.
Where was this filmed though? Like
This was the cafe.
Like
Was
yeah,
that-
it was the cafe cinema blend.
So it was,
thing.
I thought was it all part
Yeah.
of one thing?
Yeah,
I
so
thought it might
this
have been.
was the location that the whole thing was set at.
Yeah,
So-
because there's a shot in a second where a waitress walks past, and
Not a waitress. That's one of the girls who was there making films.
well, see, that's what I was thinking. I was like,
Mm.
either they've got permission to film on the day in a place and get people on camera as well. I was like, that's so mad. If they
which
managed to pull
we
that off.
could. I think we could definitely blag that.
Mm.
Just
Yeah.
Just walk in. Hey, can we film here?
just like, hey, pretty please,
Yeah.
pretty please.
I don't know. I don't think they could do that in a day.
I'm just looking at the lighting of this. Like the only things we lit were the interviews, and this is surprisingly nice for just sitting
Yeah.
down at a table.
Well, I think all we had was a little light on top of your camera and that lamp.
Yeah.
And obviously like the ceiling lights, but they were very ambient.
Yeah.
So this is essentially a practical light, and that's it.
So last night didn't go great. She didn't show up. I'll admit, I got a little upset.
I love the pause to the second
Yeah.
cry.
Oh, cut. And then like cutting it in the middle of the cry.
Yeah.
That's one thing that we did actually plan. It was
Mm.
like, okay, for this bit, you're gonna cry like so much, but like it's gonna be like, I don't know if you've seen that Twitter account, Perfectly Cut Screams.
Yeah,
Mm.
It's
That
like
was-
that.
that was exactly what my inspiration was for the joke in Lost Novel 2 as well. That
Yeah.
Perfectly Cut Screams thing. But this
Oh,
was,
yeah,
I think,
yeah.
both of these predate that Twitter account. It was just sort of like it
The
was
concept.
this sort of form of online comedy that
Yeah.
existed at the time.
And it was just drawn from that.
I've actually decided to go back home. I've known for a while now how to. But I just thought, I considered staying here. I thought maybe if I could find love, I could make it work out. But don't get me wrong.
It's surprising, really, like the story that we came up with. Like it actually has there's an actual arc, and
Yeah.
like that. I don't think we had even had like any kind of story structure. It was literally just like, what can happen, and then it's like, oh, he wants to go home because he didn't find love.
Yeah.
But it actually makes quite a nice, complete story.
By the end of it, people were like, I actually felt kind of sad here.
Yeah.
And like you'll see in a moment, we do some cutaways, which they were quite last minute as well, I think.
Yeah.
But I mean, the whole thing was last minute, but last minute of the last minute. They're a bit.
Yeah.
You can tell, and that's okay. But let's have a look.
I've loved doing all of this, and you know, you've got a funny little world. I've learned things too. I've learned how to drive.
Do you know what the thing about that is as well? Nathan hasn't been in the film for the entire thing. And then right at the end, I mean, you've got his voice, so he's established as a character in a way, but it's just like, yeah, fuck it. Let's just get him in shot for this one.
Yeah.
Why not?
Was it filmed on a phone?
No, it was on the
No.
camera. We just like put it on the dashboard.
It just looked over.
Were we driving?
I think so.
Were we driving? Yeah, maybe.
I think we had driven ever so slowly out from the house.
Yeah, like just in our
Around,
estate,
like,
because it
yeah.
was quite a comfy estate. Comfy estate. All right.
It was
No,
a
like-
cul-de-sac.
I can't. Not comfy. I didn't mean to say comfy. I meant to say like secure. No,
Yeah,
there
it
wasn't a
like,
main road around
Enclosed. It's far away
Yeah.
from.
civilized life
Yes.
because it was in Ormskirk.
and even
Sorry.
then it was like at the
That's what
arse
he
end
dissed
of
in
it,
Ormskirk.
in,
Yeah.
in the middle of an estate.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
I was slap bang in the middle, so all you heard was people shouting all night because it was a student town.
we were.
I,
We had.
I was
fair-
probably the
fair
person shouting
quiet.
as well.
Yeah, me and Nathan weren't so much. Not
Nah,
in third year anyway.
there was never a night where I'd be sat in my room and I'd hear you shout.
Music.
Boys.
And, of course, a perfect selfie.
This doesn't land for me.
No.
Sorry, boys. Bugs me every
But I-
time.
I actually, I have the photo of like what face I was trying to do before, like when we were planning, like how would he think the perfect selfie is made. So I've got like some random ass pictures of me just like I don't know.
You have to send them so we can put them in now.
I don't even. I maybe not. But, shut up. No, I agree. It's not one that lands as a joke. People think it's sweet from what I've had feedback wise, but it's not like haha. But I think what that was
I
really
think it might have landed better if you'd have reordered it. So done that one first, then the guitar, then the driving one, because the driving one's the funniest one. So if you build it up,
possibly.
the joke
Yeah,
might land a bit better.
It's the
I think
same
it's just
thing
trying to
with like,
find a third one. Like it was just like we had two. And
Yeah, I
one
think
was
that
even
was
number
it.
three.
because we hadn't even, well, it wasn't a script, and we were just like, what 3 things could he have learned?
From Earth.
Yeah, and it was like things we had to have in the next like 5 minutes because we had to film it and edit it.
Right now.
Yeah.
Which is good fun.
But I think
We'll do
it's
it
time to
live.
go home.
Yeah, fuck it, we'll do it live.
I guess.
I think I know what point Nathan's gonna make after this.
Wow.
Oh, was that a practical effect? So, it was quite funny. He's actually a really nice guy, and he's doing really cool stuff at the moment. It was just really funny that, like, someone came up when this had finished and was like, "Hey, was that a practical effect at the end? Like the smoke?" And I was like, "No, it was just After Effects. It was just some like a smoke asset that just like
How could that
covered the
possibly
screen."
be practical? Who
Um,
was it who asked?
Was it
Ryan.
the same?
It was Ryan Gary. He's doing some
Okay.
like he's doing like a low budget mocap film, and it's really, really cool. And he's got quite a lot of attention and grants and stuff as well to actually make it happen. And I think you can, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure you can rent the space that he has, and like he'll do the motion capture and everything.
Wow.
It's really,
So
really cool.
if anyone out there wants to give, I'll just blow my vape away. If anyone out there wants to give us attention and grants, if you could head over to glasslinemedia.com, or all of our socials are at glasslinemedia, attention and grants. Back to
We
you,
don't
Nathan.
do motion capture though.
Yeah, not for motion capture. Films, basic animation, like you saw earlier.
3D VFX coming soon.
And I'm also here.
Yeah, you do the jingle on the animation. That was our good friend Max.
Oh,
You say that like I'm not here. That was our good friend Max, who's in the call.
He's here with us today.
We're cutting you out. You're not going to be You're not in the podcast. This is just...
Yes, I do the sound. You are correct. The music.
Let's credit both those. So the
pretty
intro
sound man.
animation was, well, the logo was created by Max.
Yeah.
The animation of the logo was Alex, and all of the music was also Max.
And then Nathan
All the
edited
jingles.
this whole
And then
thing.
Nathan did
And I
everything
edited it.
else.
We're a team.
Look at that. Cohesive. Synergy. Is that right?
Synergy, yeah.
Mm.
Anyway, so
Oh,
yeah. And that sort of brings us nicely onto Lost in Our World 2. So obviously I wasn't involved with the first one because of reasons. I don't know.
Then he shuffled himself in for this
And
one.
then shuffled myself in because this was like, like what, 3 years later?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A long time because we'd been Glassline for quite a while when we made this.
We put this
and
out
it
in
was-
2019. but
Yeah,
We made it. We filmed it like a year prior. It got shelved.
got shelved big time, and it was
Yeah.
we'd made it. Well, we wrote it at first. We did it as sort of like because me and Nathan had flown over to the Isle of Man to location scout for Isle, and that went well. And then we were like, we've got like like 2 more full days here.
Mm.
So we wrote, produced, and no, we didn't edit it. No,
filmed
all right.
it.
We wrote, produced,
Yeah.
and filmed it in basically the space of 3 days, and it was mainly started out as like an exercise to be like, hey, let's see if we can do this. We don't have to put it out.
Mm.
And I think pre-production for this, when we were pre-production being a day, when we were just sort of writing, was great. Like I
So
had a
much
great
fun.
time doing that. It was
Mm.
so much fun. It was
Well, the
so
whole-
funny.
I bought a whiteboard for my bedroom.
Yeah. The whole story was from one joke.
Yeah, it
Like,
was.
there was one joke that Max said, and we were pissing ourselves for a good 5-10 minutes at that one joke. We're like, right, let's just write the whole thing around it
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, I think it's because we were like, let's do another like kind of otherworldly creature
Mm.
that humanoid, obviously, because we're not made of money and we don't do mocap.
As you can see
Yeah.
in the makeup.
And so it was just like, what can we do? And we pitching other things, and Max came out with the suggestion of an alien and the gag that you'll see later on, and it all
I think.
kind of.
We'll get to the gag when it comes up because it's an interesting one because it was like it put us out for like a full 10 minutes of just laughing at it,
Mhm.
and then it didn't land quite as well in the final edit, which is a shame.
Mm.
But I still think it's funny.
I still laugh at
It
it
was
every
funnier
time.
than it had any right to be.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
and I think the reason that it, as Nathan said, it all stemmed around one joke is because the joke sort of symbolizes what it's all about. Of the idea of Lost in a World is sort of like, this weird person from another world is like trapped on Earth,
Mm.
and it's like, what are they gonna do? But they're also basically just the same as us.
Yeah, there's like very little difference. But I think
So
I
yeah,
think
let's
that's a
get
good.
on with it.
And
Is this a
Max-
wait, hold on. Is this a metaphor for immigration?
There are a few. There are a few points. No, there are genuinely a few points like about kind of issues surrounding, lack of what's the word?
Well, it's like integrating with another society and
kind of not being accepted within it.
Yeah.
Based on the color of your skin.
Yes.
So
and prayer.
And yeah, like religion, race. We covered it all.
This is very deep.
And sexuality. But that's more addressed towards the end. And in Lost in Our World 3. Which is in pre-production.
Which has been for a long time.
And will continue to be for another long time.
Yeah.
Until the Isle of Man opens up its borders and we can get back to what we do. I suppose without further ado, Lost in the World 2. Lots of rhyming. Let's go.
It me.
Look at that. Look at that.
Should be it.
My old house.
Nice house. Hi, are you Clive?
Nearly crushed by the gates.
Yeah, that was closing.
Well, didn't we have to press the button to open it and then quickly shoot in time for you to run out?
Yeah, because it was on a timer to close, and we tried a couple of times. One time, it was still way too open, so it just wasn't funny. And then the other time, I didn't get there in time. Third time's the charm, he says, hoping that it was 3 takes.
Let's say yeah.
I'd go for it. It wasn't.
Oh well. I am so sorry about before, guys.
It's such a shame that the audio is
Yeah.
It's quite
muffled,
rustly because it was under that jacket.
You got your coat, yeah.
Yeah. Surprisingly, had less trouble with the beard. It was in fact easier with the wizard.
Yeah.
Probably because it was over the beard, and here you've got it under the jacket.
Yeah, it was a pain.
Yeah.
And it's still the same. It's almost the same character. It's that nervous energy. Not entirely sure.
Hey guys.
Hey. and what I love here is you can immediately see the paint on the t-shirt and my skin under the paint.
How long did it take you to wash out, by the way? I remember it being a while.
Well, I had a shower that day because I think we did this over 2 days.
Yeah.
We shot it over 2 days. It didn't all come out before having to put it back on the next day.
I feel like a lot of it was in your ears.
Bits. Yes.
Oh, ears. Yeah, I remember that.
Stayed in my ears for a while, and the red in the hair, around the hairline
and the
skin.
head.
Yeah, exactly. Which was just great. It's on my jacket. The green's on the jacket.
It got everywhere.
It's funny. It is
my
funny
name's
though.
Clive. I'm from Centon 5, and I'm here for world domination. I actually, funny story, I spent my gap year here, and it's kind of expected before you graduate, you conquer a level 3 planet or up, so here I am. My brother's already done it, he's a year ahead of me, and there's a lot of pressure.
I also, I just had a sort of brainwave back to when we were filming this. I remember at the time, Alex was like, I don't know if I want to be on camera again. And I was doing the thing that I'm very good at doing with Alex when we've got no one else to cast it by going, dude, you're the best man for the job. And you were going, you should do it. You should do it. I'm not being fucking painted. I'm not being fucking painted green. And I feel like my counter argument at the time would have just been, well, I'm fucking not being painted green either. and then you were just like, all right, I'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah, classic manipulation.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
In a good way. If you really objected against it, I wouldn't be getting deep into your psyche trying to make you play a role where you paint yourself green. But it's sometimes you gotta think what's for the best.
I suppose. Plus, you had a beard
for the company.
Imagine with the beard, that would have been a nightmare.
Yeah, especially now. Now it is long and unkept. At the time, it was sort of closer to my face.
I wouldn't do it now.
Yeah, I mean,
should have been Nathan. Should have been Nathan.
yeah, I think we'd ruled out
Oh,
Nathan.
I think of the three of us, I'm the worst actor, so I think that was
and
like
the best and the best with the camera.
yeah.
Let's continue.
But I have my 5-step guide, so I should be absolutely fine.
Yeah, this
So this
is
was
the
sort of the
first kind of
structure.
introduction.
that-
Yeah, we
that
changed
kept it.
structure on this one. We thought we'd actually write a story.
I like the fact that it has a structure. I think it
Mm.
makes it quite clear, and it feels a bit less rushed.
Yeah.
Not that I think the first one's rushed as such, but it does suddenly end. You know what I mean? Whereas this one, he's counting down to 5, so you know the end's coming.
Yeah.
Step 1 is community integration. So I've just been trying to just live that human life, really.
Here's the
Do you
gag.
remember?
Here it comes.
Do you remember as well before we get to the guy going into this shop like the day before and saying, "Hey," because this
Wait,
is
no, it was on
this
the
is like
same
an
day.
off license. This is
It
an
was
off
the same
license
day.
that was all right. Fair enough. It's an off
This is
license
just a
that was
garage.
like down the road from Alex's house, his old house. We went in there quite a lot,
was my
especially when
local
we were filming
shop.
Isle. But
That was my local
they-
shop, and I had to go in
So
there.
they knew Alex, and because we'd already been in there like 50 times on our visit, because we just eat snacks the entire time we're over at yours, it was the same person behind the till who was just like, "Oh, you guys again?" And we were like, "Yeah, but we're not buying anything this time." I mean, we probably did, but,
Yep.
but then we were like, "By the way, can we film it here tomorrow?" And they were like, "Yeah, I guess." Side note, I might be green.
And I was.
Yeah, and you were green.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I hated this. This was the bit I hated doing the most because it was in front of people I knew. In
Yeah.
Ormskirk, I didn't care. Like like Ormskirk and Liverpool, couldn't care less. I don't know any of these people, but that was my
Yeah.
local shop.
Really
Oh,
embrace it. Things are just different here to what I'm used to, Back home, full fat's green lid. I learned that the hard way.
It's a good spit take. It is.
The thing is,
pretty
the
happy with
thing
it.
that we were laughing at wasn't even him spitting it out. It was
the joke. And
the green lid.
that was
It's
all
that-
it was.
It's the sort of it's sort of like officey in a weird way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that sort of style. But very very British. So like, just so like it's deep. Milk lids are deeply rooted into our culture.
And it was just like the parallel of like in a whole other world, like similar level of development, just a bit further, and like the big hitting point, the biting point there is the milk.
That's the thing that's so funny is like of all of the differences of his world and this world,
That's taken
It's
about
milk.
the most.
So integration.
That's just
community
that is just deeply funny to
quite
me.
go-to plan,
Like, that whole
it
concept.
proved slightly more difficult. I had anticipated people being a bit more understanding of each other, but
I like this joke as well.
a simple call to prayer rustled some feathers with the neighbours. So the integration stage is proving a little bit difficult.
a similar joke to
Look at
Lost
the
in Our
clock.
World one.
Yeah, similar. And that one there, if you just pause it there,
Yeah,
is,
that was like
uh,
a little. He's corrected his mistake
so he
as well by
I
getting
can't remember
proper
when we
full
came
fat
up
milk.
with this guy. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. He's got the
Mm.
right milk. But I was going to point out the smoke coming out of the car to look like a spaceship, which I think we tried it a couple of ways. So first of all, because we came up with that joke, probably on the way back from filming the milk
Yeah.
bag.
Yeah.
We probably knowing Alex tried his vape first. and then went, that looks shite. So we got a can of Atmos,
Yeah.
and then absolutely drowned
think
Alex in that car.
You were in the back.
Oh, I was in the
Yeah.
back seat,
You were in the
laid
back.
down,
You were
spraying
hidden,
it. Yeah.
And I've never noticed this before, but it's so me. But door open and the side door
Full of
pocket is
Mackies.
just full of shit. And like that's McDonald's chips, which is other chips are available.
Again, yeah. I should probably say, since we pointed out McDonald's and knowing aisles coming up, this is not this podcast is not an advertisement for McDonald's, but it will come up again.
Far too much.
Why
We had
will
we had a Mackey's every
Every
night of
day.
aisle.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Every day we film.
Yeah, but that's because it was such a long day, and it was
I know
like
that.
there was. We're not making food at like 1 in the morning. We would finish at 1 in the morning. Well, yeah, we'll get to that.
People just look at the colour of my skin and they just assume that I'm dangerous.
That
This was a
joke
weird-
took a year to make.
That was so fucking strange.
Well, it's
It
such we didn't have a joke for that. I think we couldn't come up with an idea of why he would, because we had a toast thing. It was like he does something to make toast, right? That's the joke. The joke is they think I'm dangerous, and he just makes toast. But we're like, so he's magic now?
I don't know. Yeah, no, I don't know exactly. That's maybe one of the weaker gags, and probably the one
Yeah.
that took the most work for Nathan
Yeah.
on the edit, like doing the.
I think it's one of the reasons it was
effects.
shelved as well, because we had this completed project for a year that we just shelved.
Mm.
And then I think I remember just messaging the group chat because we hadn't. It was just pre-COVID, and we were like, right, we need to kickstart 2020 in style. Ha ha! By the way, we were like, we need to kickstart 2020 in style. Show that, because we had so much written, and that we were writing. Alex, you're writing something. I'm writing something. Nathan's always writing something. So we had so much. We were like, yeah, we're going to put out this year. So let's just drop Lost in Our World 2. Because we're kind of proud of most of the jokes in it. But then it was like, we can't put it out because at the minute it's just Alex going toast. So it took a year from being
Which could have
filmed to
been
make
funny
it.
as well.
Yeah,
Could
true.
It could have been decent in fairness. I've forgotten what the next bit is.
The things here. Something as simple as
Oh,
gravity.
this is such a shit joke.
Yes. Oh, thank you for finally accepting this.
What?
Do you remember the arguments we had over that joke? I was like, I
No.
hate it. I hate it. I think it's naff. Such a rubbish joke. And I was like, Alex, we can't put it. We've got so many good jokes in here. We can't put a joke like that in. And then we filmed it, and
they
it
can't
looks
all be
like
hits,
shit
mate.
as well.
They
No.
cannot all be hits.
You got to throw some misses in there.
Gotta write some misses.
I was really adamant that we cut it, but you were like, no. And I'm going to wear the onesie. Okay.
It starts. He's from space. That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah. Now, the next bit,
Funny.
the next joke is funny, but we just absolutely butchered the execution.
I think I'm ready for the next step. Step 2 of planetary domination does tend to be marking your territory.
Oh no.
Some people like to
I think this is
No.
so well done.
No, this isn't the joke I thought it was going to be. I'm forgetting the order here. But this is a good joke, although it does last a little long.
It goes
This,
on,
this,
yeah,
however,
slightly
that's
too long.
great. That's a
Yeah.
really funny little joke
crop
that's
circles.
not
Let's-
addressed, which
Let's
makes
watch
it
it. Let's
funnier.
watch it again because we were talking
Okay.
for it.
Today I'm going for the classic tried and tested crop circles. So,
I love that gag.
So stupid.
It's because we don't address it that makes it funnier.
Mm.
I know.
Like the fact that if he'd have gone, now, contrary to popular belief, these are all
Yeah.
hand done. Like, I don't think that would have been as funny, but it's not addressed. So he's just sat in a field with a pair of scissors, just cutting crop circles.
Yep.
It's funny.
And then people started implementing designs and getting fancy. So hopefully we'll be able to work in a design today.
It's such a hot day. I'm sweating through the paint.
Yeah, very visibly.
And sniff away. Sorry.
I think this is a slightly missed joke there as well. Is
It
that
goes
like-
on for
that's
too
like-
long.
No, it's like the ET phone home. There's
Yeah.
a
Oh
finger.
well. That's it, yeah.
Hey.
I remember
I
you
love
kept
this
saying
joke.
you want like the X-Files music, and I was like, that is very much copyright.
Yeah.
And I
That's
wanted
true.
like a basic Nokia ringtone, which is the same.
Hello. Yep.
What is he? Well, I'm not
Yeah,
Gareth.
no, I am here now.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. Yeah.
Lovely shot.
Mm.
Well, it's only been 2 days. I've got a plan. Well, I'm sorry, Mum, but I'm not Gareth.
I think it should have been cut there.
Yeah, I was
Fair
just
enough.
about to say.
I'm with people.
Although
think-
that is funny, that bit where he's like, I'm with people.
I think it's like, I think Family Guy is quite well known for it. Is those jokes that go on for
Just too long.
ages,
Yeah.
but it's like it starts funny, then it's like, right, this is getting a bit tired, but then it gets funny just like right at the end again, like because of how ridiculous. It's
Hmm.
like, what's that one where they cut away to that country singer? they,
Yeah.
like, they cut
away for the
Conway
entire
Twitty.
song.
Conway Twitty.
Yeah, but they cut for the entire song.
Yeah.
Like I thought it'd just be like a snippet, and then like you get tired. By the end of the song, you're like, "This is fucking."
It's.
insane."
I think it's up for debate, that one though, because I do think yes, that is funny in a way, but I also sort of think, oh, that's lazy, just lazy writing there.
I'm pretty sure they did it to fill the time
Yeah.
Probably.
of the between the ads.
Possibly,
That would make sense.
yeah. Mm.
We didn't have ads.
Will you just let
Yeah.
me do it? Stop trying to micromanage.
Whereas, like with me, I'm very much more of a airplane Monty Python kind of comedy guy, where it's like, bam, 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 get the jokes in,
Yeah.
as many as you
Don't
can.
hang on a joke. Just do
Yeah.
it and
Stage
get
3
out.
of the plan is gathering a following.
I love that. As long as that goes, it we don't see the crop circle. There's nothing.
Yeah.
It's just- he's on the phone and he's like, "Yeah, sorry, love you." Step 3, like it's just
Yeah.
like.
I mean,
ignores all
that
of
is
that.
that is funny in itself, but it's also a practical thing. The incredibly
back?
tasking man hours of making a crop circle with what we had was scissors, so we would have actually had to do it that way. And B, we just went and climbed over a fence and sat in someone's field and filmed
No,
that.
we didn't. No, we didn't. No,
Really?
we filled out the paperwork. It was my field.
Stage 3 of the plan is gathering a following, and through my research, I found that humans tend to do this on a thing called the internet. So I put an ad out.
This is what I was talking about before.
As
I think it's funny. It's a funny joke.
Yeah.
That
but it's not.
But we don't show anything on the screen. Look, apart from
There's a
her on the
camera.
right hand side.
The thing is, I think we
could have
found it
just-
really difficult to find.
We did, but we could have just like pixelated it on screen or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
It
true.
just
pixelated a couple
made-
of things.
Did
I think there
But if
was
we'd
a
have-
couple of explicit things that we had to fix.
But if we'd have done like the whole page, so it's
Yeah.
clear that it's because the idea is he's had so much feedback, so many responses.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
online as a dominant master looking for submissive subjects, and you would not believe the response. It's been phenomenal.
It's a good
and
joke.
I honestly couldn't be happier. So
This as
step
well. That is funny. I don't know what it is about that.
I've
makes
got
me laugh.
something with my teeth. No one told
Yes. We were talking about this the other day, and I'd
me.
never
I'm
noticed
so
it before.
angry. That's been put out. I think when it was put out, I only watched it on my phone, so I never noticed on the small screen.
I didn't
so
notice
upset.
in the edit. I just
I'd never noticed until Alex said, like,
I didn't know it
2
until
weeks
just
ago,
now.
last week.
Real friends would tell you if you had something in your teeth.
Yeah, but we didn't fucking notice.
Bullshit. This is a smear
Step
attack.
4 is getting people to
checking
fear
your
you.
teeth
It
between
should
every
be easy after
take.
completing step 3, as you can get your followers to help you
It's
implement
Jack.
intimidation techniques.
Turn that off. Turn it off.
Was he actually strangling you at one point?
Yeah. Yeah, he was.
sounds,
Thanks,
sounds
Jack.
about right.
Uh,
Friendship.
Yeah, so people on the Isle of Man know that's Mr. Jack Divers,
Friend of the channel.
friend of the channel, best known for his work on Lost on Our World too. No, but,
And his dog in Isle.
yeah, star of stage and screen, who was kind enough to agree to do this, and let's give away a little spoiler. He has agreed to be in the next one. Someone's got a recurring role. Oh,
Is it you?
Yes, no.
It's-
I've got
yeah.
recurring work. It's not. Who's that guy? It's basically the modern day Orphan Black. Like I'm playing everyone.
Yeah.
Isn't Orphan Black the modern day Orphan Black? It's not that old.
What's the
right?
olden day Orphan Black? So we want to quickly Google when Orphan Black was put out.
Nothing came
Hey,
before
Siri.
it.
Hey Siri,
I don't know.
2000,
when was
2014.
Orphan Black released?
Yeah, it's a good shout.
2013.
2011, I'm gonna guess.
2013. 2013.
Oh, 13.
That's old.
amazing.
That's old. That's before uni.
But I guess it's contemporary.
Yeah, it's still modern.
Again, this took quite a few takes.
Here goes nothing.
We should have mic'd me up as well.
Guys,
Mm,
don't
I
worry.
think we only had one.
Everything is
Yeah.
great. Bit of a hiccup on step 4, but I've just started my 5-step plan.
I like how there's just a black sheet over the
Step
back of your
1
car.
is
Just like,
establishing the power dynamic.
I don't know if it's because it was dirty or...
It was dirty, yeah.
There we go.
And I think part of it was to kind of make it look more secret agency.
It doesn't.
Yeah, and so you didn't get green paint all over your car.
Yeah.
It was
I mean,
probably
another
more
one.
that. It was less
Mhm.
like dirt on me and
Yeah.
more me on the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny.
That-
This did take a long time.
Control.
And the thing that I love about this as well is
Two.
that me and Nathan didn't know what your jokes were in the car until it came to the edit.
Glenn here. We've really built up a rapport over the past
Again, funny line.
Then we move on to step 3. Now, what happens on step 3 is a seduction, which is really an art form. And what you want to do is you want to lure them in. You want to lure them in and just make things really sensual.
So we
Make
talked.
things-
We
Make
talked
things
about
really
this. Being,
sensual.
we talked about this when we do, Lost in Our World, like 5 or 4 or something later down the line. We discussed the idea of maybe having one where all the characters that we filmed come back, because we've got a few
Yeah.
written and a few ideas that we want to do for like 3 and 4 and stuff. So when they all come back, and I love the idea that the alien and Glenn are just a couple because you'd managed to seduce him.
I hope that is what ends up being written. I want that to be the case.
Yeah. Well, we have some jokes about it for the next one that he appears in, but where Clive Alien won't be on camera, but he'll be referenced, and like, I think they're great. I think those things that'll be really funny.
It's still going. I think I had to tone the audio down because you went on for so long. I had to fade you out.
Yeah. We have to go back to this improvised line from Max that, like he said, he wasn't mic'd up. We just had the one mic going on me. Because, yeah, documentary style. But this is...
It's a shame
That-
you can barely hear it as well.
Yeah.
Because it's...
What do you say, Max?
It was easier with the fucking wizard.
Yeah.
Oh, I said.
And
Which is funny
It was-
because it places you as a character in the first one,
yeah.
which there were no other
Which-
characters
yeah.
apart from like just Alex.
Yeah.
Which I just think it's great. I think it's great. And I think we'd done a few takes that you hadn't done the line on. Then we did
Yeah,
it.
I think I did it.
And you-
So we'd done a few, and then
Yeah.
I did that, and Nathan went, "Get them to come back now because we're doing that again."
Yeah.
and that's why you can see in that take, I'm like going with my mouth before it because I'm remembering I've got a line to come, and before I'd just been going like proper Jim in the camera, and then Nathan was like, "You need to do that improvised line again." That was funny. So you can see that I sort of go like, it's just so
So yeah,
annoying.
it was decided that I'd be the alien.
All right, so we were going to talk about our short film Isle, but the film itself is like 20 minutes long,
17.
and yeah, all right, 17 minutes long, and it was a very sort of long and tasking shoot that I think we've got a lot of stuff we could talk about.
That's
in
going to
terms
be
of pre-production,
a long
in terms
conversation.
of post-production, and definitely in terms of production. So the original plan was to do Lost in Our World 1 and 2 for this, and then go on to Isle. But we've just decided that we're going to scrap that and do Isle for episode 3. And then for now, we're just going to go back to a couple of older shorts that Alex and Nathan worked on, and I worked on this one as well. This is based on D&D. It's called Roll for Initiative.
Critical
and
moment.
Critical moment.
I think it was called Critical Moment because we were going to do a series of these.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
we
never
were.
came up through with a second one.
So
We
I
had
think
ideas,
this
we
is
just never made it.
this is the first thing that we worked on as a 3. I mean, technically it wasn't as a 3. It was just the first thing that I was there for, because I didn't in the other stuff I wrote and helped produce and other stuff. Whereas this one was just the first time that we'd all worked together. Because Alex was like, "Hey, we're just making a film. Do you want to come
We're
and
going
help?"
to the woods.
Yeah, and I was like, "Yeah, oh yeah, why not? I'll come and help."
I'm actually crazy happy with this one. This one's so good. With a bit of ADR as well. Some
Yeah.
sneaky ADR from Nathan.
You take 5 damage.
Oh, there he is.
We look like such babies in this.
I'm going to die.
I mean, Alex, you look the same. I don't know
Fine,
what's
yeah.
going on with my
Try
trim
one more
there,
time.
or my face for that
My
matter.
sword at his head. Yeah. And again, this was mostly improvised. We
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
the vague shape, and the whole thing was just like, let's say this. That'll get us where we need to go. Enough! You and your kind have done enough damage to my people. I'm going to... That's
we
what
were,
was ADR'd.
You don't say.
Yeah. No, because like...
Growl.
No.
That's alright.
Oh, your
My line.
audio is ADR.
Yeah, no, yeah, not the.
Sorry, my bad.
that is-
I thought you
that's
just
the
meant
audio from
'cause
a different
it was
tape.
right when there was a growl. I was like, yeah, no kidding.
Well, because what had happened was, because I think we were using a boom mic.
We were using
this.
we were using the boom mic to get your audio, but then we used the boom arm or like the boom pole and the microphone to do like the shoulder
The monster.
of the monster.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
Yeah. I'm going to put an end to it.
You can't tell.
Oh,
I remember when we were filming these shots, and I was looking at them on the camera monitor and being like, "Oh shit, that actually looks good."
yeah.
I thought this was going to look rubbish. What is that? It looks like you're handing it him.
I think maybe we'd recently watched the Community episode where they do D&D.
I'm going to go with definitely.
Yeah.
Knowing us.
And they had the capability of shooting at much higher frame rates.
Yeah.
And so our slow-mo was limited because they do like these shots where they like roll the dice, it like rolls off the hand naturally really slow and like bounces across the table. We were like, it'd be really cool if we could do that. And
We can't.
And then we yeah, no, we couldn't.
I think we were limited to, I think the GH4 was what I had at
Yeah.
the time, so it was like 96 frames a second.
There it is.
Hang on. No, he's calmed them down. I think this was the calmest eyebrow take. Do you want to do an
Yeah.
impression for the camera of what you would?
No, because if you remember, the problem was I didn't know what the issue was. As far as I was concerned, I was just going. Right?
It was
Which is what I
one
was supposed
eyebrow
to do.
that kept just like
It's like
But I can't
going
do
like-
that. Like, I can't do it. Like I was at the point of getting annoyed because you do a shot and then you'd stop and go,
I
"No,
love
you've done
that.
it again."
I love
See,
that
why
one.
didn't I get to do that joke? Because I was clearly fucking it up. I should have just done the sweet joke.
Now, for those of you who don't know, in Dungeons and Dragons, the tabletop role-playing game, if you roll a 1 on an action that you've tried to do, you fuck it up.
yeah, but normally you don't impale yourself on a
Hey,
sword.
spoilers.
next 2
as
seconds.
well, I think it's slightly interesting as well that I'd never played it D&D until like lockdown, like when we played it over Zoom. This was in like lockdown 1, so I'd never ever played it. I'd seen it on Community, so I kind of understood it. But like you were like, I don't remember turning up to 7. You were like, right. So the basic idea is just like, we're playing D&D, and then he's going through all this stuff that was all D&D rules, and I went, I don't know what that means.
Which is probably why you were relegated to just like staring at the table.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm of my acting experiences on screen, which have only been in films that I've made. No, only been in films that we've made.
Yeah, you've been in some of my early ones.
Yeah, we can address that. I'm quite happy with this performance. I'm pretty chuffed with it. Let's go.
Oh yeah.
Interested there that we knew to add a stabbing sound this early on, and yet when it came to Jacked, we forgot.
Oh yeah. I remember Nathan being raging that I stepped out of the shadow there.
Yeah.
He sounds like he still is. He's still not
Yeah.
got over that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's quite funny.
Looks better.
On this bit here, when we see the sword like come through the back of me, I had a bunch of people asking, "How did you get that? Like, how did you do that? Like, is that something?"
You're
like, fancy
joking.
effect?" I literally
Oh
just tucked
my
it under my
God.
armpit.
No
But I think it's just the angle looks like it is coming out more
Yeah.
central.
Yeah.
But I was like, "What are you on about?" I literally.
But I think that's the thing, you don't know it. It's like a magic trick, right?
Yeah.
You only know it
When you
once
see
it's explained to you and you're like, oh, of course, like that's so simple.
it.
Yeah. And I just
It was the same as the person that asked me if we'd actually set fire to the house in Jacked.
Yeah.
No, we didn't burn down a house.
I'm stoked that I loved doing this as well. This was so much fun.
Yeah, we had so much fun.
But I think
doing
that's the
this.
thing. We've made the best stuff when we've just had an idea of it. We haven't particularly thought about it. It's just let's go and make something, and if we find it fun, then it will be fun. And I think that's when we've made our best stuff.
I remember having a vague conversation about like, should we like pitch this to the company that owns Dungeons and Dragons? Like they might want that for like advertising. And we were like, probably not though. Let's not do that. We're big dreamers.
They'd have been like, so we love the advert, but you've really got to recast the eyebrows guy.
Well, I think we can wrap that up.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to talking about Isle next week, though. I think we've got a lot of interesting stuff about
We'll
that.
either talk about Isle next week or the week after, depending on guest schedules.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're having guests, getting a bit big for their boots already, episode 2.
And we can't wait to welcome Bruce Willis next week.
To talk about his latest film, Too Hard to Die, Too Hard, Tokyo Die.
Could you imagine us three trying to talk to Bruce fucking Willis?
Alright.
Of all people.
Well, anyway, thank you for watching episode 2. This has been wild. We will, of course, get onto Isle someday, whether it be next week or the week after, because we might have a guest. Not going to confirm it yet, because I could be wrong, and I don't want to be a liar. Depends on people's schedule. So it's good night from him.
Nah. We can't be doing that. You're joking.
We all just say
They're
it's
both
good night.
dead.